What are some really dark concepts in kids' shows that were presented as light and trivial? In Rugrats, Chucky's mom passed away not long after he was born. It's implied she had cancer while she was pregnant and chose not to get treated for fear chemo would hurt Chucky in the womb. There's a whole Mother's Day episode where Chaz decides Chucky is ready to start talking about what happened, and they read a letter from his mom together. It wasn't a show, but I found it crazy how they made an animated kids movie about Anastasia Romanov. Like the real Anastasia was shot to death along with her whole family in a basement, and then a crazy woman pretends to be her and claims that she somehow escaped the murder of her family. In Hey Arnold, Helga's mom was played as being aloof for laughs, but was all but stated to be an alcoholic, complete with needing her smooth highs and being sleepy and tired all the time instead of saying she's hungover. All of Danny Phantom. The main character is a half-dead 14-year-old whose power is to die on command. His parents don't know he's half-dead because he's scared of them ripping him apart, molecule by molecule, which is a direct quote said by the parents about his ghost half that is said in the show. His arch-nemesis is a 40-something-year-old who is also the only other one like him. Both the main character and his arch-nemesis were half killed by the parents' stupidity with their ghost portal invention. I could go on. I got hit in the parenting feels recently when watching the new Chicken Run movie. While another hen is being killed and processed in a nugget machine, Ginger puts her hands over her daughter's ears and tells her, "Look at me and don't look away," to keep her from seeing or hearing it. SpongeBob's Rock Bottom episode was basically a lesson in existential dread for kids. The bus never comes, and you're stuck in a weird place forever. Childhood innocence meets silent terror. The rescuers are really depressing and messed up kids move. You know, thinking back on shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog, I didn't realize as a kid how dark some of the episodes were. The weird settings and creepy villains seemed fun back then, but now I can see the deeper themes they were tackling. It's funny how our perspective changes as we grow up. Invader Zim Dark Harvest episode in Beethoven the one about the dog, the villain is persistently trying to kidnap Beethoven from his family so that he can perform harmful medical tests on him. Murdering a health inspector, the entirety of Hey Arnold. Everyone focuses on Helga's home life, but honestly, none of those kids were fully okay. Like, they address that Torvald is 14 in the 4th grade, sure, but Harold is 13 in the 4th grade and no one addresses it. All the 9-year-olds show up to his bar mitzvah like it's standard and he just gets a job like that's normal. Stoop Kid doesn't go to school at all, he just lives outside. The city is full of mentally unstable adults who act like superheroes, gangsters, etc., and who are close personal friends, or sometimes beefing with some kid. At least 3 ghosts are confirmed real. The fat controller who runs the railway on the island of Sodor. Every day there are trains crashing into buildings, running off their tracks, making uncontrolled movements, brakes failing. He is a menace to society and should be in prison for his neglect of the railroad. Hardcore harassment. If you watch Ed, and Eddie, then you what I mean. Those girls on several occasions kidnapped them, broke into the houses, and dragged them off into closest and closed areas for forced to make out sessions. I know the Eds weren't the best people, especially Eddie, but we still shouldn't have just laughed that kind of shit off. All Dogs Go to Heaven was somehow surprisingly upbeat and super dark at the same time. Just about every Disney movie is about parental abandonment. Rugrats. In No More Cookies, Angelica gets sick after eating too many cookies and orders the babies that next time they prevent her from eating even one cookie. But when Angelica gets better, she gets desperate for cookies. The way it's played, it comes across as a drug addict trying to go clean after an OD. In Mother's Day, someone already mentioned Melinda Finster's untimely passing, but there's also Tommy's first memory when he was in a fishbowl while his mom held his hand. The fishbowl was an incubator, and it's all but said that Tommy was born premature, which explains why Diddy was always so concerned about her childcare skills, and why Stu nicknamed Tommy Champ. Fraggle Rock. The first episode openly discusses the inevitability of death. Absolutely insane going back and watching it as an adult. Shark Tale. Will's character getting the shit beat out of him for trying to break it off with the lady fish, and the boss fish going, "Ah, young love, late to the party," but I always think about how the Sesame Street team handled 9/11. They tried their best to reassure their viewers and prepare them for an emergency, but it's still pretty dark. Interview with Louis Bernstein here, https://youtu.be/nuvhte7qd8 question C = GAFE8RKIOI-8 PAP9